Today we are going to do areas of study for your exam.
Okay.
How many times have we met on Zoom?
On Zoom, this is a third time.
Third or fourth?
Okay. Initially, it's fourth. Yes, fourth. Initially, yes, fourth. But it should be third.
Nangasipa makala zina kuti mina is not successful basi kumata kumanabe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, so today we'll do areas of study.
Okay.
Because after next week, you're starting your exams.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm sure you have a pen and paper. As organized as you are always, I'm sure you have a pen and paper.
Correct, I have them.
Good. So you agree that you are always organized, right?
Very much organized.
Yeah. Now, area of study number one is what we discussed, I think, last time. This is on consumer sovereignty.
All right.
Go through that. Make sure it is well understood.
Thank you.
I don't think we need to go over it.
This one is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Then area number 2 is unemployment.
Okay.
So study issues of unemployment.
Okay.
What causes unemployment and all that.
All right.
Because the causes determine what type of unemployment will be there. So just as a recap, there are 3 major ones: cyclical unemployment, structural unemployment, frictional unemployment. Those are the 3 major ones. So cyclical, structural, and frictional. Cyclical or cyclical, whatever you pronounce, is about business cycles. Economies go through good times where businesses are doing very well, prices are good, so businesses, the causes of supply. Because you remember when I drew that market diagram, demand and supply curves. The supply curve, I also labeled it as supplier, producer, right? And then on the demand one, I also labeled it as consumers, customers, demanders, if you remember. Now, the suppliers are the producers, and these are the businesses which are supplying things to the market. And you know what determines supply. The higher the price, the higher the supply. So businesses are very happy when prices go up. Okay? So they supply more goods. So businesses are booming. When they supply more goods because of high prices, they tend to employ more people. Because for them to supply more goods, they have to produce more. So they employ more people. They open new factories. They expand because prices are good. So because they employ a lot of people, at that time unemployment is very low. But look here, they are happy with rising prices, so they're expanding production, they're employing a lot of people, but these prices, which they are happy about, means there is inflation. Because the definition of inflation is sustained increase in prices. So when these prices keep on going up, the suppliers, the business people are very happy because they are making money and they are employing a lot of people. Now, the problem is these high prices, even though businesses try to increase wages so that people do not, their employees do not complain too much, that out there prices are going up, even though the businesses are making money and they're happy, the worker is not happy, even though they are being employed. And many of them are being employed. Unemployment is very low. But because prices are rising higher than the wages, their purchasing power, remember the issues about inflation, their purchasing power becomes reduced. The value of their money becomes reduced because now when they take that 100,000 kwacha, they used to go to ShopRite, fill the basket, now they can't. So they will start cutting down on buying. So even though the businesses are happy and they're expanding, it takes some time for them to notice that something is going bad.
Yes.
Amati ukasangalala kwambiri kuseri kwake kuli mavuto.
Yes.
So businesses are so preoccupied with expansion, building more warehouses, more factories because prices are good and they're employing so many people to make sure they produce and supply. But because prices are rising higher than the wages, people start getting hit. So they start reducing. Before they know it, the companies start experiencing too much supply in the system. People are not buying as they thought. And then that trend can continue. So because they were expanding, now they have a big capacity. So there will be oversupply. And that oversupply, meaning things are not being bought as they thought, despite them expanding their businesses, their production. Now they will have a lot of things in their warehouses, their stockpiles. Now they will start saying, we can no longer continue producing because our warehouses are full. The things that we are sending to the market are not being bought as we thought.
Okay.
So now they will start reducing production, laying off people. Laying off people. Now there is unemployment. So these good times can last maybe 2-3 years. They're having good times. And then they start, the system starts going downwards. The businesses now start contracting, downsizing, and that will create unemployment. They will do that, starting to downsize, close, lay off people, until they reach a stage where they have now contracted the supply of goods to the market so low, achepesa kwambiri production, to the extent that now demand is higher than supply.
Yes.
Then, so prices were going down because of this oversupply. As prices were going up, now prices start going down. They will go down until demand is more than supply. Now, when demand is more than supply, it means there's a shortage. So prices start going up again. So prices start going up. Businesses now, they are opening factories which were closed over the last 2 years when prices were going down. Now they will start reopening them and employing more people. Those people who they laid off, now they are being called back. So it's a cycle, what we call business cycles. So it will be a cycle like that. 2 years of good times, maybe 2 years of bad times, 2 years of good times. So good times come with full employment. A lot of people are being employed. Bad times come with a lot of people being unemployed. So that kind of unemployment is called cyclical unemployment. It has got to do with economic activity. Okay? Then there is structural unemployment, which is different. Structural unemployment is about the mismatch of skills of workers and the skills that the market wants. So when there's that mismatch, some people will be unemployed. So you may find a situation where a company was using people to load a truck. They were loading a lot of trucks in their warehouses every day. And they were using a lot of people to load those trucks. Now they may decide that they no longer want to do this. They want to be loading these trucks with conveyors, belts, and forklifts. So now, these people who were being employed to load manually get unemployed. The same thing, for example, when people used to type letters through with a typewriter. The skills of a typewriter are no longer needed these days because everybody is typing himself. So you don't, at the office, you don't draft a letter by hand and give it to somebody to type it for you. You no longer draft your letters by hand, you draft straight on your laptop. So those people who are being employed in your office as typewriters or typists, they will no longer be wanted. So those skills are no longer wanted in the job market. So when there's a mismatch between the skills of people and what the skills that are needed at the job market, when there's that mismatch, some people will be unemployed. So that is what we call structural. The structure of the economy has changed. So you may be a welder who was using maybe welding rods. Now there is a new technology. It means your skills are no longer needed. You need to retrain. Okay? You need to retrain.
Yes.
So that's structural. And then there's frictional. Frictional is when you are changing jobs, for example. You are resigning from one job to another. And maybe in 1 month, you will not be employed because you want to change a job. Or you are changing places. You want to move to Blantyre. So you resign here. Maybe you want to go to Blantyre because you want to follow your husband or follow your wife. So, and then you say, I'll find a job there. So meanwhile, you'll be unemployed. But also employers experience this frictional unemployment, because if you resign, it will take them maybe 2-3 months before they replace you because of the
Yes.
process of recruitment. Takes longer to replace you. So there will be that unemployment at that office, waiting to recruit a replacement. Sometimes people go through frictional unemployment. For example, if let's say your brother is sick and needs your daily care, you may want to resign because you want to look after your wife or your brother or your parent and go back to work when they are better.
Yes.
Sometimes women, they have just given birth, so, and the employer cannot give them maternity leave, they will just resign and look after the kid. After the kid is good to go, they look for a job. That kind of unemployment is called frictional. Then there's other types of unemployment, like seasonal unemployment, monga mwa agriculture. Some people get, now they will be fired because they will leave water. Or and auction, when the market is there, they will be employed. The market is closed there. So there's also this type of unemployment which is called seasonal. Okay. There's also things such as underemployment, when you are not fully employed. So you want to work full time, but you can't. The jobs that you are getting are maybe half a day or whatever. So you are experiencing a phenomenon called underemployment, and so on. So there are many other types of unemployment occurrences, but the main ones are these three that I mentioned: cyclical, structural, and frictional. So that's on study area number 2. Now, I also wanted you to know that cyclical unemployment is also talking about. Are you sleeping?
No, I'm getting you actually. It just gets disconnected.
Sorry?
The network, I think, is poor.
Sindikumva.
Network. We are having challenging network challenges.
That's why I couldn't see your face, and your face was just closed. Your eyes were closed. So I
Yeah.
thought, oh, he's sleeping.
I can't sleep during the day.
So anyway, what I was saying also is this thing about the relationship between aggregate supply or aggregate demand having issues with unemployment and inflation. Okay? That concept,
Yes.
ya business, we understand bwino. This issue about when the companies are doing well, it's because my prices are high. When there's some inflation, businesses make money because of what they are producing and selling. Farmers are happy. But kusere kwake kwa izizi, even though they are happy with this inflation, for them it looks good. So for them, it's like inflation is good. Okay? Yeah. Because they are making money. But kuseriku kuli bad times when prices start going down, because this inflation has caused people's income to be valueless. Yes. This inflation has eroded people's income. The value of the money has become useless. Now, they will start cutting down on buying. And that later on will force companies to stop producing because people are not buying. And that will lead to unemployment. So you should also be able to understand the whole concept about, why we are talking about cyclical unemployment. You should be able in there to talk about production, inflation, and then kenaga buying power going down, and kenaga ma companies ayamba kukhala ndi excess supply. That excess supply now will start reducing prices. Prices will start falling. And because prices are starting to fall, businesses don't like that.
Yes.
When prices start to fall. So they will also start producing less. So for them to produce less, it means they will start laying off people. So you can see that these things are related. And that's why when governments try to deal with inflation, they have to be careful. When you are trying to deal with unemployment, you have to be careful. Because sometimes when you want to reduce unemployment, you cause inflation. When you want to fight inflation, you can cause unemployment. So it's a matter of a balance. What balance the government should do. So I hope these concepts are very clear in your head, especially when we deal with cyclical unemployment. You should be able to relate unemployment and inflation. When there's high inflation, businesses are happy and they employ more people. So unemployment is not there. But once supply has started being too much in the system and the prices have been rising too much, they will have an effect on buying power. And so people will start cutting down on buying, which is aggregate demand. When you are aggregate demand, as we said, demand is consumer, customer, and the magura. So when prices are going up too much, we rent. When prices go up, demand goes down.
Yes.
Now, once demand has started going down, prices will also start going down because there will be excess supply. Demand is down, supply is the same. So you have excess supply, and excess supply will push, now prices will start responding to your wish, to you as a buyer's wish or consumer wish, because you have with a healthy, you are buying power. So consumer sovereignty kuja. So now prices will start going down. But now when prices start going down, producers, suppliers don't like prices going down. So they start cutting down production to bring it. So it's a cycle like this. So when they start cutting down, what does it mean? They are initiating unemployment. Because for them to stop producing or to pull down their production because they are not happy with the prices, it means they are laying off people. So I wanted to emphasize this.
Okay.
That's why I'm repeating.
All right.
Then area of study number 3 is the issue of inflation. Inflation, it has 3 main causes. One is demand. When demand is higher than supply, prices go up. So these prices going up, sustained increase in prices, is because demand is higher than supply. So the suppliers will respond to these increasing prices by increasing output. That's according to the theory of demand and supply. Now, when prices are going up because demand is too much, is more than supply, prices will start moving. Prices are going up because there's more demand than supply. So, there is shortage, right? When we said demand is more than supply, it means supply is not matching the demand. So prices will start going up, meaning there's a shortage. Now, that sustained increase of prices because of shortage of supply or excess demand, that inflation is called demand pull. So it's caused by too much demand in the system. Demand is more than supply. So prices start going up. So it's demand pull inflation. Then there's also what we call cost push. Cost push is on the supply side. My businesses akamachita supplies into, they want to recover the costs. So when the cost of raw materials start going up, wages start going up, cost of equipment starts going up, they start increasing prices. So our prices are going up because the cost of production has become expensive. So that is what we call cost push. Now, in terms of business cycle, let me explain to you what is happening. Remember when we were discussing cyclical unemployment? Kuti poyamba imakhala employment yabwino, kenaka you reach a peak and then you start getting unemployment. Now, when prices are rising, companies are happy, those who produce. They produce more and more and more and more, employing a lot of people. To the extent that because there's too much demand for people, there will be labor shortages. Okay? So what happens when there are labor shortages? What happens when there's a shortage of anything? What happens? Whenever you have a shortage of something.
When we have a shortage of
anything.
Labor shortage will push the demand for such kind of okay, so I should give an example of in the labor market.
No, Joseph, no. Remember the demand and supply theory.
Yes.
Whenever there's a shortage of something, what happens? What do you mean by shortage?
Increase. Okay, it increased the price. If
yes,
there's yes.
Whenever there's shortage of anything, the prices go up. Okay?
Yes.
What do we mean by shortage? Shortage means the demand is higher than supply. Zinthu zilizochepa anthu mfuna kugula muli ambiri.
Yes.
So there will be a shortage. So whenever there's a shortage of anything, kaya chichimanga, kaya ndi nyemba, kaya ndi tomato, mitengo imatani imakwera.
Yes.
Now this time when businesses are employing so many people because they are happy with prices, They are employing and employing because they want to expand production. There will be a point where they are creating a shortage of labor because achuruka makampani ofuna kuti expand.
Yes.
Everybody is recruiting. This cycle of progress, this cycle where people are so happy. Okay?
Yes.
So there will be a shortage in the market, in the labor market. So wages will start going up.
Yes.
That's why akumachita employer anthu ambirimbiri and their masalary yawo akumakhala akuluakulu akumawonjezera, koma the problem I said was kuti sawonjezera equivalent to rising prices.
Yes.
So the whole picture should be complete and full in your mind.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So because they are employing so many people, they are also using a lot of raw materials because, mind you, they are happy with rising prices. They are happy. But because they are employing too many people trying to expand, they will create a labor shortage, and therefore wages starts going up. They are also going to create shortage of materials, will also try to go up. They will also be creating shortage of equipment. All those things will start going up, further fueling inflation, because now their cost of production will be higher than before.
Yes.
So even if the inflation initially was demand pull, was caused by demand, excessive demand, now cost push inflation will also kick in, making the situation worse. Because now the economy is heating up, so to speak. The actions of the companies in themselves can also cause cost of production to go up, because there's a labor shortage in the system, because we expand too much. There will be a shortage of raw materials because they want to expand too much. Now, when there's a shortage of anything, kind of equipment, kind of raw material, kind of labor, their prices will go up. And when their prices go up, the company's cost of production will go up. And that will force the companies to charge more for the products that they produce. Sometimes it can be a government thing. Let's say Boma rapereka new minimum wages. That will push the prices up for products that are relying on labor production, on labor being used as a production, as a factor of production. So the cost of production is called cost push inflation. Inflation caused by sellers demanding higher prices for their commodities because it is costing them more to produce those materials or those products.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, the question is, how can a government deal with cost push inflation?
Okay, by using monetary policies.
How?
Okay, so government has to make sure that it has. There are two ways. It's either they should increase the availability, the circulation of money in the market, or reduce the availability of money in the market.
How?
By creating
inflation, what is the definition of inflation?
Sustained increase of prices for a period of time.
Yes. So if that increase is caused by cost push, what are we saying?
There is high demand for.
No, this is not demand pull inflation. This is cost push inflation. I'm talking about cost push
yes.
inflation, which is a result of increase in cost of production. So how does the government deal with this? We are not talking about demand pull. Demand pull, you can talk about what you wanted to say, but we are talking about inflation, sustained increase in prices due to rising cost of production.
Okay, so in this case,
cost of production,
government
when we say cost of production, Joseph,
the increase of prices of raw materials for producing products.
Okay. What else?
We are talking about all factors that might also be needed in the production of a certain raw material, which may include labor.
And what?
So we are talking about labor, we are talking about raw materials, and we are also talking about
factors of production, Joseph, should be in your head. You don't have to look anywhere. Factors of production are 4. You have land,
labor,
capital, and enterprise.
And entrepreneurship. Some call it entrepreneurship, yes.
So those are factors of production. So we are saying cost of production, we mean cost of these 4 things have gone up. And therefore producers they are charging more for the products that they are selling. So what we are saying is, how does government deal with this? Cost of labor, fiscal policy. Cost of labor has gone up. What does the government do? Cost of capital has gone up. What does the government do? Cost of land has gone up. What does the government do?